Hi everyone, Wayno here. Just decided to do a quick video. I did one a couple of weeks. I put a video up a couple of weeks ago and YouTube took it down. They said it breached their community standards. Well, I have community standards too, but really, I think it just straight out relates to censorship. Anyway, we're going to do this one. I'm going to go a different way. The next video in what I was planning to do was about corporate governments, but I have to learn some new computer skills to put that together so that I can have my proofs in there, because I want to prove it to you. And I don't have those computer skills just yet, but I will. So today, I just want you to listen. It's quite complex. You don't believe anything I tell you, right? Don't believe anything I tell you. Have a look for yourself. And I'm just going to string some stuff together, and it's going to lead to, because I'm in Darwin, it will lead to the CHO 55, the Chief Health Officer's Directions number 55, which deals with the mandate, pardon me, up here at the moment. Okay, so we're going to flit around a little bit, but I've tried to string it together so you can follow it through. So let's do this quickly. So the first thing we're going to deal with is corporate governments. You may or may not know, but your government is corporate. Your state government is corporate. Your government departments are corporate. Centrelink is corporate. They all have ABNs, right? Your judiciary is also corporate. Now, who do they answer to? Who knows? I don't know. So I just call this entity the Fat Controller. As far as I'm concerned, they all report to the Fat Controller. They have no allegiance whatsoever at all. We thought they were voted in, but they weren't. They were placed there. Not too sure the mechanism of that, but that's what I believe to be the truth. Many other people believe that as well. So there you have it. I believe we've got a corporate government, and I have to tell you that to move through to where I want to go. The other thing just coming out of that is I suggest that any time that you take something to court, you're actually engaging with the enemy, and the chances of them handing you a favourable judgment are slim, to say the least. And I know many people are attacking this problem through the courts, or our problems through the courts, and that's great. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying I think you got the job in front of you, but that's my opinion. Okay. In this country, as well as corporate law, we also operate under contract law, Roman law, I think they call it. But when your government interacts with you, they contract with you, or they want you to contract with them. And I don't really know. I'm off to a good start here. I don't really know the best way to explain that. When a policeman pulls you up, he understands he must get taught a thing called legalese, which is another word for word fuckery. And they get you to agree to certain things, and unbeknown to you, you've contracted with them as you, the flesh and blood individual that you are. And it'll become more apparent here shortly as I move through this. The thing about a corporation is that a corporation can only contract with another corporation. It can't contract with a flesh and blood individual. Okay, so what we got so far, we got the Fat Controller, we've got a corporate government, we've got a corporate judicial system, we've got contract law, and we've got the fact that a corporation can only contract with another corporation. Okay, so we move on from there, and we'll go to birth certificates, because this is an integral part of what happens. So when your mum and dad registered you, or when my mum and dad registered me, they registered me, and what they actually did was they gave me to the state. You see, when you register something, the real meaning of register is that you give ownership or control of that thing, which in this case is your kid. You give ownership or control to the state. Now, it's not something that's talked about, it's not something that's generally understood, but that's what registration is. And we didn't know that, we can't be blamed for it. So now your live birth record is actually your record of birth, and your birth certificate is actually the record of the birth of your straw man. Now, your straw man, or your legal fiction, as it's also known, it's been not invented, but it's been created. That's the word. It's been created by the fat controller or some of his corporations. They fraudulently, once your live birth record is done, they fraudulently create your birth certificate. Your birth certificate is actually a certificate of title. It has a unique number on it, and a certificate of title can be viewed as currency, and your birth certificate is traded around the world on the stock market, and somebody's making a lot of money out of it, not you. And when the fat controller created your straw man, he created your straw man as a trust, which is a form of a corporation. So he created your straw man as a trust, and when fraudulently, he forgot to tell you, and not only that, you wouldn't have understood because you're only a baby, but you didn't get told. Pardon me. So he created you as a trust, and it's created in a way that you're the trustee and he's the beneficiary. Now, you as the trustee get all the bills, and him as the beneficiary, he gets all the money. So it's a little bit lopsided, more than just a little bit. Righto. So we want to go to the word person. Now, I'm just going to share my screen. This is another integral part of it. Just hang in there with me. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Wish that YouTube stuff would go off. Righto, we're going to go to the word person, which is right down the bottom. Okay, we all think we're a person. We all think we're a person. Well, you've got to stop thinking like that, because a person is a corporation. Okay, now don't forget, your straw man was illegally created as a corporation. Now, in John Bouvier's Law Dictionary, there's a few of those law dictionaries apparently, but in the 6th edition, part 2 of the answer, person is used to denote corporation, which is an artificial person. So John Bouvier's Law Dictionary says a person is a corporation. So how do our Australian Parliament treat the word person? And this is important. So to find that out, we go to, this is about the Goods and Services Tax, section 195.1 of a new tax system, Goods and Services Tax Act, 1999, defines a purpose as includes a company. Now, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a truckie, but what I have learned while I dabble around in this kind of stuff in the bit of spare time I have, when the word includes is used in a legal sense, as it is there in that tax thing, when it's used in a legal sense, includes means to the exclusion of everything else. So you can't put anything else in there that person. If they say person includes a company, they mean that's it. A person is a company to the exclusion of everything else. There's no doubt about it. Your government thinks that a person is a company. Is a company. Okay, and this is no accident. It's been done for a reason, of course, so that now your corporate government they found a way to communicate, sort of, with you as a corporation. So now we have just to string this together again. So we got the fact controller, we got the corporate government, we got the corporate judicial, we've got contract law, we've got corporation can only contract with a corporation, we've got your straw man was fraudulently created as a corporation, and now we know that your government recognises the word person as a corporation. Believe me, this is leading somewhere. Hang on. So we go to, as I said, this was all leading to this document right here, and I find it. Right, this one, Cho 55, right? And this is directions for mandatory blah blah of workers to attend the workplace. So we quickly need to look at the word mandatory. Right, so we'll do this quickly. I've got it here. Right, our mandate. Mandate is when two men go out together. This is from Black's Law Dictionary. They must have been big businesses' law dictionaries, but here's another one. So according to Black's Law Dictionary, a mandate is a written command given by an authority to an agent, a member of the public. That would be you or me. Contract by which one person requests another person to agree voluntarily to a service. And we know that a person is a corporation, so if you change that as where one corporation requests another corporation to agree voluntarily to a service. So the government corporation has asked your straw man to voluntarily go get whatever it is that they want you to do. Thing to remember, apart from the word person, it only becomes effective when the mandatory, that's you, it only becomes effective when you agree. So it's only mandatory when you agree to it. If you do not consent to the request, you are not obliged under the mandate to comply. There's a difference between a mandate and a law. Now, I know I've been not consenting to a lot of stuff lately, and they punish you. They punish you if you keep on not consenting. But isn't that wrong? I think that's quite wrong. How can they, if I don't consent, then the mandate doesn't apply. It's that simple. But they're punishing people for not consenting. So I hope you understand that. That's mandate. So now we go back to these directions. Two words appear in here all the time, the word worker and the word person. So if we go here to worker, on the bottom of page 1, this is a 7-page thing, this document. So the worker says, see section 7 of blah, 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 blah. So I went to section 7 of blah, 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 and here it is. Meaning of worker, a person is a worker if the person carries out work in any capacity for a person conducting a business or undertaking, including work as blah, blah, blah. And it even says for the purposes of this act, a police officer is a worker. So there you have it. As far as I'm concerned, a person and a worker are the same thing. They're both a corporation. Okay. Now, if we go into this document, I've been right through it a couple of times. You'll see the word, I did highlight these and they didn't actually come out real well. Some did, some didn't. You got the word person, 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 worker, 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 person, worker, worker, all the way through. In fact, I counted it and it comes up in that 7-page document, it comes up 83 times. 83 times they've referred to a person. Now, knowing what you know now, that's not even addressed to you. You're a flesh and blood individual. And this bullshit, word fuckery, is addressed to a corporation. And yet, when we don't comply with their mandate, they want to punish us. I'm quite sure that's wrong. Okay. Now, I don't know. Just hang on a sec. I'll go out of here. I don't know how you would want to use this information on a day-to-day basis. I have used it in various different ways, sometimes with success and sometimes I've been out-bluffed. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. But I suppose the fact is, knowing what I know, that your government's a corporation, they can only contract with a corporation. But they can't contract with me as a flesh and blood individual, so they contract with my made-up straw man, who's a corporation. So I suppose if Cho 55 says that I must wear a mask when I can't social distance, so if I go to the supermarket, if I must wear a mask, or if my straw man has to wear a mask, if I make a little straw man and strap him on my shoulder here and put a mask on him, have I complied? Well, I don't know. But look, you don't have to believe any of that. It's all stuff you can, you can look at and find out and Google and yeah. And I will put a link under the video to another very short video that explains really well the whole strawman concept, because you need to understand it. So, like I say, I don't know how you use this information, but for me, knowing it and understanding it, and I believe it, what I've just gone through, otherwise I wouldn't have done this video, it gives me the strength to say, I will not comply. I do not consent. Okay, so that helps me, and I have used this information in other ways, and maybe you can use it. Righto, that's it. Thanks, folks.